Cut.
A little bit.
Okay, that's good.
Hello and welcome to the Insane Chat, the toe repair segment,
Excuse me for a moment.
where I have cut my toe and it's pretty cool. It's bleeding slightly. Hag has cleaned it out with Listerine and now we are prepping it for some surgery. So before long, we should be doing surgery on the toe, installing some sutures to make sure it stays on.
Not really surgery.
But that's what happens when you wear sandals. You should always go barefoot. They put me in jeopardy by making me wear sandals. Hi, Jenny. The innate ramblings of a madman. Is the audio on this okay? Hopefully it is. The screen's kind of darked out because it's pretty dark in here.
It's okay. It's kind of messy down
And
here.
there's really not much to see except a bloody toe. Hi, Lucinda. How are you doing? And I'm just waiting for Hag to break out the med kit and go to work.
I don't think there's anything to do. First, you're gonna wash it and let it dry,
Yeah, okay.
and then we're gonna take a look at the cut.
What happened, Johnny, is I put on these stupid sandals, and I'm not used to wearing shoes or anything. I usually go barefoot,
Wash those
and
toes very good.
the sandals made me trip, and they made my toes like go in an upward motion. So the part that usually doesn't contact any part of the ground or anything went right into the breastplate of a turkey bone, and it sliced my toe wide open. So that's kind of what happened. A little bit of insanity on the farm. So now we have to clean it out, and then,
And why was there a turkey bone lying on the ground, you may ask?
well, the turkey bone was there because I was in a hurry to live stream and I forgot to put it in the front with burner ashes and throw it out. So yeah, it's my fault. What is it?
It's not what I meant, really. It's just that you will find bones laying around on a farm.
That is what it is.
And are we getting there?
Yeah, I think we're getting there.
Okay.
Let's let it soak a little more.
You want? Okay. That's fine. You may do so. It is your foot.
Yeah, you can't really see anything except bloody water.
Well,
So
don't show me.
I'm not showing any. You can't see anything. It's too dark in here. You can't even really see my foot in the bloody water. So, but it is what it is. I was just gonna hang out for a little while, anyways. There seems to be a lot going on all over the other place around YouTube. So, yeah, I hate sandals. I hate any kind of footwear at all.
Okay.
Dislocating your shoulders much worse than chopping your toe. Much worse.
I've got band-aids and antibiotic ointment for when you're done.
Okay.
Oh, really?
I'm trying to gonna mess with some settings and see if anyone's here, but so far it doesn't look like anyone showed up.
I have no idea if this is gonna play, so.
Oh no, it's only one toe that got cut. So it's the one next to the big toe, right underneath the knuckle. It split it from the part that touches the ground to the ball of the foot. Basically, it could only cut through the part that never touches the ground. Everything that touches the ground, it couldn't do anything to. It was not strong enough.
Is it too loud?
It doesn't matter.
Well,
I'll probably delete the stream after I'm done because it doesn't have a picture or anything.
okay. Well, I don't want to have to pay Disney a royalty for something I'm
Yeah,
watching on DVD in the background, you know?
don't worry too much about it.
We already paid for it.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Dude, actually.
Hi, country. Hey, Sagemont. Yeah, toe repair.
Toe repair.
I
I needed a toe.
I did something stupid tonight, so
Tripped over a turkey
you
leg.
know, I wore sandals like an idiot, which made me trip, and the part of my feet that never touches the ground got cut. Yeah, I don't go to the hospital either, Jenny. Closest I get to the hospital is Hag. Hag, her
I'm the
sutures, her
nurse.
staple gun, her hemostats. We pretty much do it all at home.
How
I'm
many
not gonna
times have I stitched you up and set your wrist and
I'm not gonna pay a guy like $600 to drop a couple stitches in a toe. That's just insanity. Hey Storm, what's happening? It's kind of dark, I know, but I tried to videotape the pot that it's soaking in. It's too dark. It's just blood filled, so it's nothing really exciting to see. Figured I'd jump on and see if I could rustle up some cash for Tammy through her link in the donation link, and figured I'd hang out because it's going to be a while. Because that turkey bone was pretty nasty. So, with the cats eating on it and the raccoons and everything else, God only knows what kind of bacteria it's got in that thing.
well, that's why we did 2 teabag draws.
Well, Sagemont, we've had a horrible day. We went to the DMV. We wasted 2 hours trying to get a damn
ID.
ID that we couldn't get because we didn't have a credit report. And I guess we'll wait to hear about everyone else's day. How was yours? I'm a faithful follower of Brother John Burgess. I belong to the Antioch Baptist Church. And if you don't believe me, you can even call home and ask my wife. Yeah, Sagemont, they wanted her birth certificate, which was a mess to get because she was adopted. So we finally got through that mess. Then they wanted the social security card, which is no big deal. All her other shit's expired. She's got an expired driver's license, expired firearms owner's identification card, an expired Sam's Club card,
But
and
they're
the
all
list goes
picture
on
ID.
and on and on and on. And they all have her picture on it, and it all looks the same, but they won't take it because it's expired. So they said if she had a credit report, they would give her one. 7 miles in the rain on a bike. I remember those days. It's been a long time for me, though. It's been probably 15 years since we were on a bike, Hag.
What, motorcycle?
Yeah, probably been about 15 years now.
Since the accident.
Yeah, probably about 15 years.
Yep.
No, we rode it after the accident for a while before we got rid of it.
um,
So, about 15
about
years.
15 years, yep.
Yeah, rain bugs and June bugs were hell on a bike.
Dude, the way the accident played out was pure genius. And we could have rode that out and rode away if that stupid culvert hadn't been there.
Yeah, well,
But we both walked away without barely scratched, so I'm happy. Your reactions are top notch.
June bugs at 100 miles an hour hurt like a bitch, Sagemont.
Like rubber bullets.
And at 140, it feels like being shot with a paintball gun. I know better than that.
Are you ready to have your foot extracted or no?
If you wanna,
Well, no, it's up to you. If you want to leave it in there to soak, I don't care.
I'm moving it around. I'm getting as much blood and gunk to come out of it as I can.
Okay.
So,
Well, the water's not like bloody, bloody. It's dirty, dirty.
well, whatever. Cut off my toe, I gotta die. I can't do that. I got this thing about body parts. If I lose any of them, I gotta lose the rest of it. I can't go around missing a finger or a toe or anything like that. That freaks me out. I'm like a little girl when it comes to that. It can be broken, it can be deformed, but it can't be removed. I could probably get along if my ears were cut off. That I could probably get it. What's up, Pen? Good to see you. I could probably get along if my ears were cut off. That wouldn't bother me too much, but I need all my fingers and toes and arms and everything else.
Just so you know, a storm is rolling in. You've got doors open.
I have everything closed down for a storm. The seat on the tractor's pulled forward. We're storm-proof.
I left the barn open.
I know the barn's open because I went out there and did some video of your goats, and your Smiley twins were standing on the door,
I saw that. They're mountain goats now, apparently.
apparently.
Um,
What's new with you, Pen?
I should probably leave the door open so they can get some air in there, though. I don't think anyone's in a position to be hit by too much rain, are they?
No, they're not. Usually, when it storms, we end up pumping hundreds of gallons of water out of the basement because the road commission refuses to fix the culvert in front of the house. So that's like a normal occurrence. But hey, 420. Works good if the pay is good. I think it's going to give me problems now, huh? Hmm. I mean, the strange part about it is the sun's messed up too, because you can see it in the plants. Yeah, goats are like that too. They don't want to pay fairly either. The chickens pay pretty good. The ducks, the quail, but the turkeys don't like to pay either. That's cool. Yeah, web maintenance is all right, but it gets boring after a while. It's kind of like working the security end. After a while, you just burn out to it. At least I do. Yeah, I used to get into it about, I want to say back about 96, 97. I was into it kind of heavy. And I started burning out about 2013, 2012, 2013, right in there. And now with all the new internet crap, oh my lord, whoever that is. U.S. has now claimed jurisdiction over any .com, .us, .info, .biz, no matter what server you park it on. So even when you go to escape to a foreign server, you've got to get a foreign domain name to stay safe. It's getting crazy, right? I hear you, man. I'd rather make $5 an hour at something that I liked than $50 an hour for someone that I didn't care for. I do a lot of free, like, heating and air conditioning calls for people that don't have any money to pay. You know, the part costs a whole $6, and you know your local heating and air guy wants to charge them $258. You know, to repair the damn. It's insanity. Yeah, we pretty much we eat off the land too, Sagemont. We take usually 3 deer a year, put that up for meat. Then I get a wild boar, and then we have the chickens and the ducks and the quail and the eggs. So, oh, sweet pen, that's awesome. That's definitely a damn good cause there. Yeah, Sagemont, I don't know if I could live that close to people anymore. Like in a community setting where I had neighbors that I could see. I I don't think I could survive that type of environment anymore. I'd be like the old crabby man on the block. I'd be bitching at all the neighbors who were bitching at the kids for, making noise and driving their bikes and stuff. Why do I support Donald? Which Donald? I support everybody until they give me a reason not to. Penn, I've hunted wild boar with my bow, and I've also hunted them with just my dog and a knife. The crazy down, oh, the guy with PTSD in Canada? Dude, everybody needs help. We're all human. I don't discriminate. Hi, Julie. Yeah, I hear you, Sagemont. I don't know. I'm just, I'm not a very social person. I never really have been. I've always been into survival, learning how to live off the land, do stuff like that. Why do you think Donald's dangerous? I mean, the background check on him definitely doesn't check out anything like people say. So, tell me why he's dangerous. Okay, you just told me everything you know. The dirty.com is insanity. I could go there right now and I could tell that Penn has 3 legs. He molested 74 children in 13 days. He's the father to 86 goat, half human babies, and they'll leave that stuff up there. The dirty.com is nothing but bullshit. So give me some real evidence, not what the dirty.com says.
No way.
I'm not buying anything from the dirty. If you're afraid he's going to live stream something bad and hurt innocent people, I think you have paranoia issues. I'm not going to go by what NBC or CBNC or any of those conglomerated news things say, and I'm surely not going to listen to a thing posted on the dirty.com. I'm old, but I'm not stupid. Country, he's talking about Donald Smith, Canadian independent media out of Canada. That's who he's talking about. And the dirty.com is like a website where you can go write lies about people, extraordinary, exuberant lies, and they don't check any of the information and they post it, and
So it's like the
it's
Inquirer.
like it's worse than a National Enquirer, you know. The lady had 3 alien babies and I saw them. One was a gray, one was a lizard, and the other was a frog. He's been ran out of 3 provinces. I haven't seen any evidence of that. Hi, Jen. But I'm actually promoting Tammy tonight, so are you going to tell me she's on the dirty.com too? Oh, that was a good laugh. The dirty.com.
Oh shit.
Apparently, he says believes that he believes all the things that's posted on the dirty.com.
It's worse than watching Fold News.
Yeah, pretty much, country gal. Show me the background check you did on him, where he's accused of. Let's see, what was he accused of? Child molestation, rape. Let's see. There were quite a few things. Show me evidence of any one of those. How can you provide me evidence? Whenever somebody's arrested, there's evidence. It's a public record. Hi, John. How you doing tonight? You certainly can't send me to the dirty.com and expect me to believe that.
Or expect you to take them seriously.
Having a bad night, John? Well, harassment is way farther. I mean, that's nothing like rape or child molestation or any of the other things. And if they have yet to be proven, that means he's still innocent until he's proven guilty. So, after he's proven guilty and convicted, come talk to me about it. I'm sorry, I don't convict people on he said, she said, I said, we said.
Really work
You
that.
know, I did read Dr. Seuss when I was a kid. One fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish. You know, if I listened to everything people said, I would have never met Penn, and I would have avoided him because everybody told me what a terrible troll he was. And that's not him at all. He's a very logical minded individual. So the he said, she said, they said, we said doesn't fly here. Yeah, the dirty.com is like the National Enquirer of the internet. It's it's some of the most ridiculous stuff you ever read.
For a second there, I thought we had a lake inside. Forgot that was there.
Jen, I'll bet your grass wasn't as long as mine.
Nobody's is.
He said, before you stated the dirty, and the dirty means dirty.com. How could I misinterpret that? Will do, Sagemont. I will do for sure. He says, it's not my place to talk a man into doing anything. I control nobody. You know, he's his own man. He'll make his own decisions. I don't influence anyone. I'm just a farmer, my man. I'm just a farmer. Yeah, I enjoy your streams, Pen, especially when Honey Pie's in there. Commentary, too. Me and Hag sit here and listen. It's awesome. He says Donald has PTSD. He also has some mental disabilities. So, I mean, what do you expect? Do you expect him to be a cookie cutout of some other person? I really don't know what you expect.
What do you want to do with this, dude?
Well, we'll check the toe.
Well, I don't think it should be in there forever.
Well, I don't either.
So, just when you're done there, drop the sponge in.
Okay, take your bucket away.
Okay, put your foot right there where the pot was and let it kind of dry.
Okay.
Now,
Tell Honey Pie we said hello, me and Hag. Yep, it's time, Sagemont. soon as it dries up. This is actually minor. When the billy goat hit me when I was using the chainsaw, um, I don't remember how many stitches went inside and how many staples went out on the outside, but it was a pretty good cut.
We do what we can. All right.
If I get a flashlight, I could probably show you that scar.
Well, hang on a minute. I'm kind of in my
I'm
jammies and
gonna let
stuff
you
here.
finish your stuff before I do anything. I'm not gonna get in your way.
No, I just want to get your toes taken care of before you end up with some kind of issue here. Oh, good. The swelling went way down. I like that. Still looks a little red. See if there's any blood on this. Then I can see.
Hello, Val. Good to see you.
All right, look there for a second. I don't even see a cut, to be honest with you.
It's there.
Oh, I'm not doubting that it is. I just don't see one.
Good. Maybe it healed up, and I don't have
Well,
to do
it didn't
anything.
heal up. So what I'm gonna do is
Take
may-
care, Ben.
maybe you can point out exactly where it is, or you can just slather this shit all over your toes. Wherever it happens to be, it's got this shit on it. How's that? Honestly, dude, I don't see a fucking cut. So, there you are. Do what you will. The only problem you're gonna have is walking around barefoot up here now.
Thanks for showing up, honey pie. It's good to see you.
Would you like a pair of socks?
Uh,
'Cause I can give you that.
whatever you want to do.
Well, we have extra socks, luckily. There should be a bag of them right down here somewhere.
Okay.
Yep, there they are. And you have plenty. So you can afford to ruin a pair. They're brand new. They're just cheap ass fucking socks. So,
Just
I'm
give
like,
me one.
okay. I'm just thinking, for the cut's sake. Even though I don't see it, but I got antibiotic cream slathered all over you, so.
Okay, we're good.
Yeah?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
You want to get the light?
What, turn it on,
Yeah,
off?
put it on my scar. I'll see if I can get the scar
Alright, well,
using the
kind of
light.
my underwear. Should I put some paint
No,
on?
I won't get you. Don't worry about it. Just shine the light right on it. Let's see if we can capture it. We're in the dark because it's dark in here. There's
There it
a
is.
chainsaw that she's
Stitched up.
interior stitches, staples on the outside. That's the scar that's left.
It was a pretty deep one.
That's about the best view I can give you. Hey Prince, how's it going?
Oh, I need to put that away, this
That's
way.
just an old one from the Billy Goat, so you know. I thought when you fire up a chainsaw, most goats run away, and they all did except for him. He decided he was going to come from behind and whack me. Good to hear, Prince. Good to hear. Yeah, the goat probably was plotting that for a while. Actually, I ended up shooting that goat and selling him for meat. I paid him back. Pretty soon, the new goat's gonna go because he grabbed me under the knee, stood on his hind legs, and did a WWF body slam on me about 6 feet in the air. And definitely don't want that to happen again. Plus, he pees in his mouth and blows it in the air. I keep
It's a
trying to.
breeding habit.
I know it's a breeding habit, but it's still gross. He looks like he's giving himself a blowjob when he does it.
Well, you're the weirdo that wants to catch it on film.
Yeah, so people can see it. It's the most disgusting thing I've ever seen.
Well, I should say it's a mating ritual with goats.
Well, it's still the grossest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's not pleasant.
If you're seeing red, it might mean you need to recharge, Jen. It's one of the two. Either you need to recharge or your cartridge is low. Yeah, Prince, we actually have people here they're called Congolese. They come from the Congo. They come here and buy goats all the time. Yeah, then your cartridge is about done, Jen. If it's charged and you see red.
A lot of different ethnic groups like goat.
Sounds good, Pen. After I kill this stream, I'll jump over and catch that because that's always enjoyable. And definitely a hell of a lot more interesting than what I'm doing. I saw a thing where I know medical is legal here now, and recreational is supposed to be legal January 1st of 2020. But somebody put on the internet today from Illinois that recreation is legal, but as far as I know, it isn't. Take care, Storm. Good luck on your travel. What day? Tomorrow's Tuesday, right, Jen? Maybe? I don't know. I don't even know what day it is anymore. I've uh I've never been to Vegas. My sister lived there, but I've never been there. Take care, Pen. See you before long. Wednesday. Okay. Yeah, you might be good by Saturday, Jen. I did today, Prince. I took a tractor ride and I did a fundraiser for Tammy. Took a tractor ride around about half the property. Went out, spotted a couple deer, and couldn't get them on cam because this camera sucks. I had to use a hotspot on the brand new phone because the new phone camera won't live stream. So I have to take it back in and exchange it for another one. So, but we went down, we went through a couple fields, we took a look at the creek, and take care, Sagemont. Um, does anybody know who's going live? If it's Pen that's going live, or if it's Honey Pie's channel going live? Because if anybody can drop a link to that, we could head over there instead of just being bored looking at blackness here. Once I get a new phone and can actually stream from the new Samsung, it'll be a lot better. It's a clearer picture, and I can zoom in a lot better, so I can show you a lot more things on the property. Yep, you heard a lighter, but it's only a cigarette. I don't even know what time it is here, Richard. I know I went to sleep last night at about 3:30 when I finished up, and I got up at 7 this morning. So yeah, Val, we've got quite a few of them. There'll be more coming soon too. Oh, let me see. I think I'm kind of dumb because this thing timestamps it. Ah, 11:29 here, so it's still early here.
For you.
Central Indiana Accountability. CI says hi, Ag.
Hello.
But there's a link in the description for a pool for Tammy. So if anybody can help out, it's there. Oh, when I get the new phone, Jen, I'll show you some stuff with goats. You'll laugh till you die. They go up the willow trees about 15 to 20 feet and they eat the limbs off of it. It's the craziest thing you've ever saw. Goats up in a tree. You swear they're part monkey. It's crazy to watch. I tried to do it the other day when I was going to do my first live stream with this camera. And I went out there and tried it, and it would not go live. And that's when Mr. Stinky hit me right in the nuts. It would have been hilarious for you guys if it would have been captured on video, but it was not fun for me. I just need something that live streams and actually will live stream. That was like hornery. Bale, we have 3 fainting goats, and they're horrible. And we're getting rid of them. Those are the most horrible things ever created by man. Somebody really sick did that. Because when you research it, the way they developed that breed, they took epileptic goats and bred them to epileptic goats. So a fainting goat is no more than a goat that suffers from severe epilepsy. So when you scare them, they're basically having an epileptic fit. That's why they fall and look like they're passing out and having heart attacks. It's actually a seizure from epilepsy. So,
Yeah, that's not
you
cool.
know, they're breeding defective goats for human enjoyment. It's just,
It's
I don't
sick.
know. It's against what I would breed anything for.
It's cruel. You don't breed towards suffering, you breed away from it.
I mean, that's kind of like, you know, oh, I have some chickens that come down with cancer in 6 months. So I'm gonna breed them all together. So, everything.
Why wouldn't you try to better what you have through breeding?
The only sheep I've ever seen fall like that are ones that have epilepsy. Other than that, if you scare a sheep, that thing takes off at like
Yeah,
30 miles an hour.
there's no such thing as cow tipping or any of that shit. It don't exist. It's a myth.
Cows never fall over. And these people who say they tip cows, that's pure bullshit, trust me. You've seen somebody, you've seen somebody tip a cow? I want to
Roping them is different.
I want to see that. I want to see that on video. Not a calf. I want to see somebody take a full-grown cow and tip it. I've never seen that. The only thing I've ever seen is a bulldog catch a cow, well, a bull by the nose and throw him to his side. That I've seen. But the reason they can do it is because of the softness of the bull's nose and the pain threshold, and the bull will just follow the nose. I've seen a lot of people get really hurt trying to tip a cow.
Yeah, they don't just stand there.
I've never seen
They
anybody tip a
kick.
cow.
If you've ever been kicked by a cow or a horse, it is not fun. It will knock you across a barn.
I mean, a cow weighs well over 1,200 pounds.
Anywhere from
You know,
800 to a ton, depending on the
you
cow.
know, how does somebody tip an animal that big? Oh, I believe being stepped on by a bull. I've seen people thrown by bulls. I've seen a lot of crazy stuff. But I've never seen anybody able to tip a cow.
No, as far as I know, it's a big old fallacy.
Yeah, there's no way you're going to get me to ride a bull. The last thing I rode was a sheep, and I was like 12 years old. And that was fun for about the first 45 seconds. I don't know, Prince. Like I said, I won't believe that till I see it. I have to see that with my own eyes. I think cow tipping is nothing more than a myth. Yeah, I've never tried to ride a pig. We had a couple domestic pigs, and we had the other stuff I hunted were wild boar, and there was nowhere I wanted to get near it. Yeah, I think cow tipping is a myth because I've never seen it, and I'm an old man, and I've seen a lot of crazy stuff.
It is a myth, dude. Come on, I spent my youth with dairy cows. And ponies and pigs and other farm animals.
Like I said, I got to see the video. I got to see the uncut, unedited version of somebody actually tipping a cow, or be there in person. That would be even better.
Without using drugs, no cheating. Without drugging the cow, without using her tail.
No, Prince, I haven't. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, pretty.
I can't say I've ever heard of it. The only thing I've ever seen fall over is I've seen epileptic sheep do it, and I've seen fainting goats, which are also epileptic goats. Those are the only things I've ever seen flop over. Well, you actually know that there are birds called snipe. Snipe hunting's not actually a joke. There is a bird called a snipe. They're just not hunted the way they tell you to hunt them. Hello, Michelle. God, I hate this phone. Pretty good, Michelle. If this thing would actually do what I'm asking it to do. Oh, it's driving me insane. What's going on here?
What?
You piece of crap. Thing's not responding to me.
Are you at all surprised?
No. Phone is just not responding. I will. I'll check it out. The only way I can see cow tipping working, honestly, is if you're doing either some good shrooms or some good acid. Then when you push the cow, you see it fall over like a cartoon character and get up and run away as it's melting.
Or you drug the cow.
Yeah. I guess if you gave the cow enough ketamine and ace promazine mixed and injected it, you could get the cow to fall over. That's true. Oh, this phone is not responding and it's driving me insane. Michelle, I don't believe that it's true that it can be done. I honestly don't. Come on, Michelle. Jen behaving. I think you already know the answer to that before asking. Well, the next couple of days should be pretty funny. I should be on the dirty.com and I'll be a child molester and a animal rapist and um
A goat tipper.
yeah, and a felon and a drug, probably a few more things. Then I'll be famous or infamous, whatever you want to call it. Hey, do you guys think that if I showed a book of a copyrighted book, you think I'd get copyrighted?
Yeah.
Or do you think they'd let it slide because it's a book? If I only showed the pictures in the book that were pictures that. What's up, Donald? Well, the book,
You may not own the copyright to those photos because they used them.
one of them's called Canine Bodyguards. One's called
Gladiator dog.
Gladiator Dogs. The other's called The World of Fighting Dogs. The other's called The Video Guide to Purebred Dogs. Um, I can't remember the rest of them. I'd have to look.
You've been written in some books that
But
you didn't give permission for, too.
you can actually go to Amazon and get some free previews of it. Like Canine Bodyguards. You can get free previews of the electronic version. Were you watching a dog herd cows? Oh, okay. A lady. If if anybody out there knows where I can get a mare Emma, let me know. I definitely need another working dog, but it's got to be from working stock. I need a mare Emma. I don't want an Akbash. I don't want a Dogo Argentina. I don't want
Pyrenees Marem across, that would be okay. But there's got to be a lot of Maremma in it.
but I'm definitely looking for a mare Emma that's bred from working bloodlines, not AK line breeding, and you can't make a good dog without it.
Yeah, we're looking for actual working animals. And we would possibly willing to take two females.
Hey, Tommy. Yeah, the day you were here, we should have went down there. We weren't that far from it, from the gun range. I tried doing uh, I tried doing a stream for Tammy to help her out. Man, that girl just cannot catch a break. Yep, got the tractor going, got the truck going, got a little bit accomplished, but still way behind. I had some local guys that were supposed to come help, and they didn't. So that pushed me even far behind. Oh, Prince, I've got a really well trained dog. I've got an old English bulldoggy that only weighs around two full grown men with no problem at all. I don't have an American bulldog anymore because I'm too old to handle 90 to 100 pounds of dog. Just too big for me and Hag anymore. I'm not sure if you're talking to me or not, Val. I'm kind of lost. What breed of dog do you have that's 160 pounds? It's got to be a Molliser, I
Not
would think.
necessarily.
Well, it would be some type of Molliser at 160 pounds. I don't know any other dogs that get that
There
big.
are Russian breeds that get quite large.
Well, that's true. Nikita. Yeah, I'll pass on the Akitas.
Yep.
And the Cane Corsos.
Very, very dangerous dog, Nikita.
English Mastiff, yeah, they're pretty cool. But if I could find a working Neapolitan Mastiff, I'd get that in a heartbeat.
Or an Irish Bull Terrier. Uh, what was her? He was a Staffy Bull Terrier. I would like to get the Irish version of that. With the taller legs. You had a hook up for that at one point.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of Akitas.
Poor
I'm
temperament.
I'm really hard on a dog. If the dog doesn't earn his keep, I won't feed it. I demand a lot from a canine. If I have a coonhound, it better hunt coon. If I have a bloodhound, it better find people. If I have a bulldog, it better do everything I need.
And then some.
It better pheasant hunt. If I have a Labrador, it better bring me. I was raised around dogs. Belle, you have a bulldog. What type of bulldog? Victorian bulldog.
What the hell's that?
I've never heard of a Victorian bulldog.
Some new designer breed?
Is that something new? Or is that another name for the pushed in faced English bulldog? I've heard of French bulldogs. I've heard of old English bulldoggies.
Regular English bulldogs?
I've never heard of a Victorian
I
bulldog.
have not either. Must be a split from some other breed. Or it's a new designer thing. Don't forget, we've been out of the game for a long time.
Yeah, I know. We've been out. We haven't bred for the public in over 20 years,
I
but
know.
she's huge. Okay. How huge is huge? I'm interested, Val. Very interested.
What registry? That should tell us a lot right there. What registry sponsors it?
Okay, it's 80 pounds. Is it a registered dog? Is it registered with like the American Kennel Club, the National Kennel Club, the United Kennel Club? Is it a registered breed? And if so, who registers it? Okay, if it's registered, who registers it? AKC?
Forgot it.
Okay, then it's a new breed. It's not an old
It's
breed.
a designer dog. It's very new. Or it's a name change.
I'll uh I'll have to do some research on that.
Here, I'll look it up right now. I've never heard of it. I'm interested.
Victorian Bulldog to me sounds like Land of the Giant pit bulls.
Well, AKC is not exactly a good recommendation.
Yeah, I know. Well, if it was a name change, I would have to know what its name was changed from. Because the American Bulldog was originally called the American Pit Bull Dog. Then they changed it to the American Bulldog.
Holy shit.
So,
It's like Casey Couturier all over again, dude.
is it? Is it like a watchdog kennel?
No, it's like a fucking...
Let me
Dude, look
see
at these
this.
things. They look like... It's like a freaking Johnson crossed with something David Levitt threw out. Check it out.
It looks like a deformed old English bulldog.
That's what I just said.
Okay. Okay, Val. Now I looked at the pictures of Victorian Bulldog.
And
Yeah,
now we know.
that looks like a cross between Johnson Bulldog and Dave Levitt's recreation of the Old English Bulldoggy.
Of which we have.
It looks like a mutated form of that. And the English Bulldog, here's a fact that people won't tell you.
Here's what happened, dude. Nobody would sell them the proper stud books.
Here's what nobody will tell you about an English Bulldog. Everyone says that English Bulldogs have to be born by cesarean section because their heads are too big. That's the biggest lie ever sold in the world. The English Bulldog cannot breed because the female has no uterine muscles to hold the male in during sex.
By
And
that's
when that
written in their
happens,
DNA.
and when that happens, that's why when the puppies come to term, they have to be born by cesarean section because she cannot expel the puppies with no uterine muscles. So therefore, if you go back into history, the English Bulldog is no way capable of being the bull baiting dog of Elizabethan times who was able to catch a bull by the nose because they can't run 3 feet in 80-degree weather without dying. Sorry, Bill, I'm a bulldog freak. Um, well, now, Bill, I don't think I should tell you anything about your dog because one of two things are going to happen.
You're gonna hate him.
I'm going to tell you the truth about the dog and the breed, and you're going to hate me because I told you the truth. Because you probably love the dog.
I can tell you what happened just by reading this, dude. Here's what happened,
I can
okay?
tell you by looking at it.
No, here's the question. So what's the difference between a Victorian and the English Bulldog, okay?
Okay?
And here is what it says,
Okay,
okay?
read it to me.
The Victorian Bulldog was an attempt to recreate a healthier bulldog breed, okay? So this tells me right here they liked AKC wanted to incorporate the oldie bulldoggy, but nobody would sell them. Nobody of reputable, nobody of that had good stud books would sell.
Right. So
Okay,
Dave Levitt wouldn't sell out.
so some idiot that was breeding friggin' crappy ones that nobody else would recognize, but probably the NKC or someone, right?
Right?
They sold them their stud books.
Okay.
And now, just like the UKC and the American Bulldog, they have slappy stud books that are incorrect.
Val, what I suggest you do is go do some research on Dr. David Levitt, Leavitt. He was the one who recreated the oldie English bulldoggy, and do a little
Compare that
research
with
on that,
yours.
and then compare that to what they're calling the Victorian bulldog, and
Look at the time frame difference.
you'll learn a lot about the problems that David Levitt ran into while creating the oldie English bulldoggy. Um, and those problems are very similar to what was in the early American bulldogs. There were enlarged heart, cleft palates, kidney and thyroid disorder, elbow dysplasia, shoulder dysplasia, hip dysplasia.
Actropion, you name it.
There were so many different things that had to be bred out to make it a workable breed. It was unbelievable.
And it took many
But
years and a
yeah,
lot
Val,
of
if your
hard
dog
work.
gets exposed to real high heat for a long time, your dog will die. It will die of heat exhaustion.
Absolutely.
She's healthy. Well, the vet may say she's healthy, but that also goes according to breed.
That's
Like,
only what you can see. Genetically, she might not be.
um, like the old English bulldoggy that I have, um, is as far as old English, no problems at all. Um,
14 is ancient.
she's grizzled in the face, but she can still bite and break bone. Um, and she's still healthy. So, yeah, yours is only a year old. I will, I'll guess. Let's see, this is 2019. I will guess that by 2026, you no longer own that dog.
Or you're paying big vet bills.
That will be my guess. I hope you prove me wrong.
I do too.
But do some research into Dr. David Levitt and the oldie English bulldoggy. I didn't mean to make you cry, Val, but I don't want to sit here and lie to you and give you expectations that are a fallacy.
Some guy named Ken Mollett put this together.
It's okay. A lot of people hate me because I tell the truth about dogs. I actually used to judge for the NKC.
And the NAB.
I quit judging for the National Kennel Club because I was known as the barefoot judge and a lady complained about me and I got sick of it, so I quit.
Dude.
Yeah, my oldie bulldoggy's fat right now. She's not in shape. She mostly lays around and sleeps underneath the covers and doesn't get a whole lot of exercise. But at 14, I really don't feel like pushing her. So,
Do you
kind of
know a
just
guy
letting her
named
enjoy it.
Do you know a guy named Ken Mollett?
Oh my God.
Do you?
Yeah.
That's the creator of this.
Do you remember Hermes American Bulldogs and
Yes.
Hermes?
Yes.
Yeah, that's down from Hermes stock.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Oh, it had a bad beginning.
Yep.
Oh no.
Yep. Your dogs descend from a guy named Hermes. Hermes.
Yeah, look that one up too.
Look up the Hermes Bulldogs.
This says more than 20 years ago. So this is a relatively new breed.
It is new. Yeah,
20 years is nothing.
That's when Hermes, when him and his wife split up.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then they sold out.
It says more than 20 years ago, the late Ken Mollett started a breeding program to recreate a dog as it existed in Victorian times. What begun as a hobby, together with his brother Derek and Graham Woods, early
Yeah.
partners who later left one program, soon grew to become a reference in the field of recreation breeding programs.
Yeah, these guys tried to do what Dr. David Levitt did. Dave Levitt is actually a veterinarian. He went to a veterinary school. He studied in genetics. He has the most complete history of bulldogs in his collection. He has the head of a bulldog from an old ship in his bulldog museum. He's the one that owns the statue that's on the book, The World of Fighting Dogs, which is worth I don't
Dude,
know how many millions. But
you gotta hear this part.
they tried to do what Dr. Dave Levitt actually did.
That
But
Dr. David Levitt did 20 years before this guy.
Exactly.
So that all they did is repeated a program without knowing how.
Exactly.
Here's the next part. You're gonna love this. Ken Mallet only used bull breeds registered with the Kennel Club of Great Britain.
Oh my.
I'm buying that, right?
Yeah.
He crossed Staffy Bull Terriers, Bull Mastiffs, Bull Terriers, and the best English Bulldogs he could find. That was all his foundation stock.
That's all a lie.
Well, it wouldn't work anyway. Why would you take the English Bulldog, which is already the shittiest of them all,
Nah,
and
Bill.
throw it back in?
It's not gonna work that way. You're gonna outlast the dog by a lot. I have a dog on my page called Purdy Koala, and that's a video back from 1984, and she lived 17 years. She grew up with my son, and we lost her at 17. Well, actually, my son put her down at 17.
These are about 10 to 20 pounds bigger than our oldies.
Okay. Look at how jacked out that rear end is.
I know.
Look at
That's
that
the
bowed
English.
front end.
The legs aren't underneath it.
No,
It's horrible.
it's not square.
No, that's just plastic for sure. Look at the shallow chest. That thing's got no wind. No snout. It's very lippy.
Don't worry, Val. I've had a lot of dogs in my lifetime. I've owned a
That
lot
right
of.
there, dude.
Nah, you won't die
Look at
from a
that
broken
picture.
heart. You can get another dog.
I've had a lot of dogs. Look at that. Look at that
Mm-hmm.
picture.
Next time,
That's a recognizable American Bulldog, dude, right there.
go to Mike Walls in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Go directly to him. Get an OEBA registered Old English Bulldoggy down from Dave Levitt's.
And you'll have the same
Oh yeah,
kind of
with her
dog.
kind of love, with more than her kind of love, you will, Val.
You gotta do the research, man. That's important.
I will guarantee you, the Old English that I have, if you harm the cat, she'll take you out.
She loves her kitty. Hey, Maka. I know. I wish there was something I could do to help you, but it can't. Poor kitty, your kitty can't.
One day, Val, I'll share a whole bunch of bulldog videos from old times, back from way back when.
The 70s?
Oh, my dog loves everybody too, unless they have a character flaw. And then if they have a character flaw, she'll get in between me and them, and she'll separate them from me. And she'll constantly watch them. And then I tell them it's time to go, and they're not welcome to come back. I mean, don't get me wrong. My dog's not vicious or mean by anything.
No, she's trained. She listens
You
to
know,
commands.
she's fully protection trained. She will bite you if I tell her to bite you. Um, I don't think she'll bite a kid if I tell her to bite a kid.
No.
And I know that if a kid comes in and rips off my house, he's going to steal me blind because she's not going to bite him. So, I mean, there are drawbacks to it. But for the most part, I'm safe. Who's Walter? Oh, your Shih Tzu. Okay.
Do you know anyone named Martin Moran? Ring a bell? No?
Not off the top of my head.
Okay. Here at the end it says, similar to what can be seen in the United States with the Old English Bulldoggy created by Mr. David Levitt, where breeders of other alternative breeding programs usurped the name Old English Bulldoggy, so also breeders of the increasing popularity of the Victorian Bulldog by wrongly using the name Victorian Bulldog when referring to their dogs, which are sometimes just first or second generation cross dogs. These dogs, the dog that she has, originated in the UK.
Was
Like,
supposed to.
supposedly. Right,
But from
that's
the
what I'm getting
pictures
at.
there, those are showing dogs that are definitely of Hermes heritage.
You would think, yep. Well, the name kind of says it all, doesn't it?
Hag had a dog, a little Staffordshire Bull Terrier, and she had a Rottweiler, and the Rottweiler attacked. Who was that? It
Attack the
attacked?
kid.
Yeah, but wasn't the
For
kid
no
related?
fucking reason.
Wasn't the kid related?
Yeah, it was my ex nephew. He was like 4. And he came running in the door, and the Rottweiler attacked. And the Staffy Bull Terrier attacked the Rottweiler and got him off the kid.
Right.
Just threw that dog over like it was nothing. Yeah, I love the Molliser attitude, but it's got to be the right temperament, you know.
Yeah, that's one of my weak points, Val, talking about dogs.
So
Because I've studied genetics, put together breeding programs, developed breeds, owned almost every breed of dog out there at one point or another. And
your
I'm
lifelong dream has been to redevelop a big
I'm kind of biased. The one thing I want to do before I die is I
recreate.
want to recreate the Doquin de Bordeaux. It's a smaller version of the dog de Bordeaux, and it's a working dog. And that's the one thing I'd like to do before I die.
But it's going to take money that we don't have, effort and work that we can't do.
Right? But I may find the motivation yet to do it.
That would be cool. That would be a legacy for your children,
Um,
our children.
I don't like any of the modern day German Shepherds. I haven't seen any good working Shepherds except for the ones that are imported straight from Germany. And they're, I can't remember the guy's name, but he works with Alex Rothacker from Top's Dog Training in Grays Lake, Illinois.
John Yarditsky?
No, I can't remember the other guy's name who has the Shepherds.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
Um, but when you see them, their legs aren't all kicked back like the AKC versions and that. And those are really good. And the last German Shepherd we had was probably back in 1960.
That's when my
Uh,
parents had shepherds.
68, I want to say.
All their legs were underneath them.
68
They didn't have all those
to
problems.
76. Yeah, that's how Blaze was. Blaze would control the property and keep it human free. And my dad and his brother had a yard full of pit bull terriers, and anybody could walk up and steal one, and nobody cared. The dogs would do nothing. So they had a German Shepherd that patrolled the whole area to keep people out.
That's because a real pit bull won't, you know, won't attack a man.
Right, they don't bite people.
No, they had at one point in time they had to be handled. So any self-respecting pit man would dispose of any of them that were man aggressive.
The coolest little dog I've seen lately is called a Patterdale Terrier. But
Again, finding good ones.
you have to find a good one because if you don't find one that's good, it's not a great dog to have. And it's the type of dog you should never allow in your house. It's an outside dog only because a good Patterdale Terrier will smell where a mouse has been in your wall and he will rip your wall open and go in after it. They're really hardcore go to ground terriers. They're pretty awesome. Yeah, I've seen some pit boxer mixes that were pretty cool. I've seen a lot of different mixes that were pretty cool dogs. I've seen the guy with the best boxers in the world, in my opinion, and he lived up in Capron. And he had some boxers that were awesome. Yeah, the Belgian Malinois is the German Shepherd Pit Bull mix.
Another not so great dog I wouldn't want.
I wouldn't take a Malinois if you gave it to me for free.
No, wouldn't beat it.
But, like I said, I'm hard on dogs.
They have to work and earn their keep, man. That's the way it is.
There is so much made up history on dogs.
Not even funny.
It really becomes comical after you do a lot of research. Like the Lion in the Tower of Warwick, where they fought a lion. The Molossean Mastiff was 4 feet tall at the shoulders and weighed 400 pounds. So that was a match for a lion. You take any dog gutted within 30 seconds. The cat's going to grab it, turn on its back, kick with its hind legs twice, and there's not going to be any internals left in the dog. They have a video online, or they did, of a Dogo Argentino fighting a cat. And the cat was declawed and on ketamine. And it was just a horror show. But a lot of people bought it and thought the Dogo was like this really tough dog that it isn't. Kind of like the Presa Canario. A dog that's totally prey driven, and if the dog's coming to bite a man and a rabbit runs in front of it, it forgets about biting the man, it goes attacks the rabbit. Or if it's going to go get a rabbit and a leaf blows in front of it, it forgets about the rabbit and goes after the leaf.
Sometimes. Depends on the dog. I mean, these are all like, pretty much gonna happen that way, but you never know. It all depends on who the breeders are and what knowledge they use. But again, these are all breeds that I wouldn't particularly care to own. We're pretty sold on what we've had and what we've
One bulldog
found
I
to
would
work
still
with.
like to own before I die, and the only reason I would want to own it is strictly for entertainment purposes,
The French Bulldog,
would be a French bulldog, yeah.
a good one. Not like Grinch, man. That dog was, oh my God.
Yep, the one with bad ears, Richard. Those things are comical. I don't know why I've always had an affection towards them, even though their health sucks and they don't have a long lifespan.
They are absolutely
You know,
adorable.
They are pretty cool dogs.
but adorable really isn't something that we're.
An actual better version of the French Bulldog is actually a Boston Terrier. The Boston Terriers live longer and they have better health, but they're not quite as comical. How long does which breed live? Are you talking about the French Bulldog or are you talking about the Boston Terrier?
I know it's 12:30 already. We have to get
Now
up
I do.
early tomorrow. I've got the alarm set for like
French
8,
Bulldogs average about 6 years.
possibly 8, maybe 10.
I said average. Their
Yeah,
average lifespan is 6 years.
yeah, it's not real long.
Pretty much depends on the breeder. It's kind of short, but not really because there's strains of the English Bulldog that are lucky to see it to 3 years old. There's strains of American Bulldogs that will only make it to 2 before their hearts explode. I mean, it really does have a lot to do with the foundation stock and the guy who's actually breeding the dogs. Bale, I had a Great Dane for a while, and the Great Dane had to go. That dog decided it was going to become very violent towards children.
Yeah, I need an animal I can trust with kids.
And I had 3 kids, so the Nova Scotia duck troller. No, Richard, I don't. That's a breed I've never heard of.
What?
The Nova Scotia duck troller.
Nope. Can't say I have.
That's something I've never heard of or never owned or ever seen. But then there's a lot of new breeds that I'm not familiar with. I mean, they have what's called now designer dogs. And designer dogs are usually first generation crosses. I refer to them as purse pissers. They take like hairless mini chihuahuas and breed them with,
Whatever.
you know, all kinds of different dogs. And they're made to go in Prada bags and things like that. They have the bladder the size of a teaspoon. Come on, Val. You have a koi dog. Why on earth would you have a coyote bred to a dog? So you have a coyote bred with a chow? Are you serious? Or are you pulling my leg?
A chow mixed with a coyote. Get rid of it before it mauls a family member.
Oh my lord. I would not feed that, Val. I wouldn't keep that anything around.
Absolutely not. Not in a million years.
Okay, the Nova Scotia was specially bred here about 130 years ago. An excellent hunting dog, very high strung with a strung like a border collie. That sounds interesting. Sounds very interesting. I'll have to check that out. Kind of like the Carillion bear dog. That thing was impressive too. I don't know. I hate coy dogs, Val. Whenever I see them,
We
I
hunt them.
immediately put lead through them because they
They
hunt
eat my
humans.
goats, and yeah, they're scary. They run in packs.
They run in packs. They hunt humans. They attack our livestock.
They're not afraid of humans at all.
They creep me out.
The domesticated part of them is not afraid of humans. The wild side is still wild and unpredictable.
Val, you got lucky when you found her in the woods that she didn't eat you, or the pack she was running with didn't eat you. Those are some very unpredictable animals. It's kind of like
A
finding a
wolf
baby
viper.
gorilla and keeping it
Yeah.
and hoping it doesn't tear your
Crush
arms
you
off one
when you
day.
grow up, when it grows up, yeah. No, wild animals are meant to be in the wild. There's a reason for that. I don't even turn my back on my goats.
Someone threw her out of a car window. Well, then she's probably not a coy dog. She's
No,
probably not a coyote chow mix. She's probably
a chow mix.
a shepherd chow mix or
A Labrador chow mix.
something. And yeah, she's probably some other mix because coy dogs usually aren't born at home.
No, they're
Usually they're born in the wild because most domestic dogs that don't go feral won't allow a coyote to mount them and have sex and procreate. Most domesticated dogs won't have anything to do with it. They have to be feral. So I'd say it's probably most likely not a coy dog. You can find out real easy with the DNA check. Yeah, even if their chow is outside all the time, it's still a domesticated dog. Your vet did a DNA check and said it was a coy dog.
Jesus.
I would love to see the paperwork on that. I'd really love to see the paperwork on that. Because in my entire lifetime of dealing with veterinarians and dogs, which has been a good 50 years, I've met two veterinarians that were trustworthy. Trustworthy veterinarians are kind of like trustworthy cops. There's not a whole lot of them.
Another reason we don't use veterinarians that
Can I
often.
have coffee?
Possibly. I may have to make a pot, but you know what, dude? You're gonna have to shut it out for the night because it's getting very fucking late.
Yep.
And we
Once my
have a lot to do in the morning.
well, I'm not your neighbor, so it's okay if you tell me. I would really like to see the paperwork on that though, because I have a hard time believing that. And
Yeah, I
from
have
from
misgivings on that one too.
everything I know, that in all the history I know, I have never in my life heard of a domestic dog living in a domestic situation breed with a coyote. I have only ever seen it happen when dogs,
Wild.
domestic
Feral.
dogs, go feral and then they breed.
We're out BFE, so we have them. They're out
Gold
there.
eyes doesn't necessarily mean that. you know, that it's bred with a coyote. Because, like, American bulldogs will have blue eyes, and all that shows is that the American bulldog at some point in time was crossed with a Catahoula leopard dog, and
There you go.
there's Catahoula blood in the American bulldog. I would be really interested to see that DNA thing, the markup on it. I pretty much stay away from anything that the American Kennel Club has their hands on. Um, if you look into dog breeding, they don't allow inbreeding of any type. They don't allow line breeding, and you can't,
They want you to out everything.
you can't,
They want you to outcross everything.
you can't breed and not inbreed and cull in order to set a breed type. AKC basically just wants you to breed, make puppies so that they can make money off the
More registration
registration
fees.
papers.
Yep.
The more puppies you have, the more registration they make. I mean, they're happy to have 12 puppies,
18
come out of
puppies
a
a litter.
dog.
Oh yeah.
And whenever we bred dogs, anything more than 8,
It's too
we
many.
didn't allow the mother to keep them because of the stress it puts on her system. She has to, she has to eat their crap. She has to lick their urine. Her kidneys have to do the work for all that,
Plus
and it
process her food.
and it puts a toll on the dog very quickly.
Yes, it does.
So you can tear down a female really quick by having puppies. So you have 12 puppies hanging on a female, and even if you leave her off a season, that dog's trashed in a couple years. It's just ridiculous. And then the puppies have to rotate and bite for food, and there's never enough milk or nutrition for them to set their bones or grow properly. And
Immune systems to catch up. The whole
it
nine.
becomes a huge mess. So
And everybody wants to supplement with the bottle, and that's
whenever
about
I
the
get,
same.
you know, whenever I look for animals, I look for working breeds. I want something. I don't care what it says on the paper. I don't care
What
if
about
the
the dog?
parents are on premises.
That's what tell me
I
too.
want to know about not just the parents, but the grandparents and the great grandparents and the great great grandparents.
Any siblings?
And if there's line breeding, inbreeding, I mean, if you look at
We have the
you,
technology.
if you look at pit bulls, the actual fighting dogs and how they bred them for centuries, they inbred line bred and kept their lines pure that way. And you didn't see mutated little babies with one eyes and half-legged dogs running around and all the craziness they tell you happens from inbreeding. You know,
Inbreeding doesn't
it
cause that.
brings it will bring the garbage to the top,
And that's when you get
and
rid of
then you
it.
can get rid of it and take it out of your breeding program. Without that tool available, it just stays in there, and then two recessive genes meet, and now you've got a defective dog. But AKC doesn't care if the dog's defective because they're making the
Oh yeah.
20, 25, $30 on the registration paper, and they're happy. It's all about the money.
It's always been about the money. The real breeder leaves nothing behind but his reputation.
If you go into history, there was organization called the Animal Research Foundation out of Quinlan, Texas, that was run by a man called Tom Stadchill, who developed the clockwise method of breeding cattle. And he ran a registry for a very long time, very successful. Um, his clockwise breeding program was spot on. And when he passed away, the daughter and son-in-law took over, and the whole thing fell apart. It just became a mess. It became another registry that was there just a money grub.
Most of them are.
Geez, I got all distracted on dogs.
Yeah, and don't forget, we have to get up early. We have to hit the DMV tomorrow. We've got to get the phone fixed.
Yeah, I
And we've got to
understand.
get all this shit done before Friday.
Yes, I know this.
Okay? I just
I'm
want to
getting
give you
ready.
enough rest.
We're hitting the 2 hour mark. I'm about to call this. I'm going to go see if Honey Pie's still on singing. Hopefully they are. They're still up and running. And thank you all for coming. I will see you next time.
Good night, everyone.
I'm off to see if Pen and the Swords still live streaming, and if Honey Pie's still singing, and if they're not, then I'm calling it a night. But I'm going to end the stream now. The link for Jaded's in the description in case anyone can help her out. Take it easy. Have fun. I promise I won't talk about dogs anymore and drive people insane. Take care, all. See you later. Bye.